Hello, and welcome to another Rouge unit of the week. And today we're taking a look at the Flak 38 20mm anti-aircraft gun. The Flak 38 would enter into German service in 1939 to replace the older Flak 30, the major improvement being a higher rate of fire with the Flak 38, and then make over 144,000 of these anti-aircraft weapons throughout the war. It was a rather simple weapon, just a small 20mm cannon. It could be lugged up a mountain, it could be put in the back of a bunch of vehicles, but its main problem was its lack of punch. It didn't have a super high velocity round, and it couldn't really hit targets all that high up, and it didn't have all that much punch, as it was only a 20mm cannon. So it wasn't useful as a proper defensive anti-aircraft weapon, but more for immediate close air support. Usually Flak 38 should be stationed in anti-artillery regiments and infantry and panzer divisions rather than on the backline. In battle, the Flak 38 20mm is a 40-point anti-aircraft gun available to 5th Panzer, 20th Panzer, Rintown, Panzerlehr, 5th SS, Hermann-Göring Division, 25th Panzer Grenadiers, 78th Sturm Division, 14th Infantry Division, 352nd Infantry Division, 28th Jaeger Division, and Kork 559. Korks is disheartened, and it has one weapon. So the Flak 38 weapon is the Flak 38, surprise surprise. It has 540 high explosive shells and also 540 bullets, which is still a bug that I haven't fixed yet. Apart from that, it's your rather standard 20mm cannon. It's got 2 km ground range, decent rate of fire, you know, not the best suppression or HE damage capabilities, but it's only a 20mm cannon. It can only do so much. Down to miscellaneous stats, it has 4 HP, good optics, medium stealth, and light cargo space. In battle, Flak 38, really just 20mm anti-aircraft guns in general, single 20mm pieces, are definitely a little bit underrated, and I'm guilty of this too, as I usually don't take Flak 38 often. I'm much more preferable 37, 40mm like medium caliber anti-aircraft guns, but these things do have a pretty good purpose. Now it is, you know, one of the more cheaper and quote-unquote less powerful anti-aircraft pieces that you can take. But for the price, you actually get something fairly decent. Now, this is not good against dealing with bombers or heavy, like, armoured planes, such as IL-2s, for example, as you're not going to do that much stress damage on them to, you know, make it a shot accurate, and you're not really going to shoot them down. That's really down to your fighters and more heavy caliber anti-aircraft weaponry to do that. But where the Flak 38 shines is dealing with fighter aircraft. Because you see, in Steel Division, when it comes to aerial dogfights, it's not about who has the best plane. It's about who has the better anti-air, all in all. Because if you have one bad fighter plane and one good fighter plane fighting it over in the sky, all that really matters is if the bad fighter plane has anti-aircraft guns covering him, he's going to win that fight most of the time. As all it really comes down to is stressing out the enemy plane so you can shoot them as they retreat. And with a Flak 38, you can do that for 40 points, or 35 points if you get the Kork run. And that's extremely cheap. That's a really good price compared to your like 80, 90 points that you might spend on more heavy caliber anti-aircraft weaponry. And because it's cheap, you can spread them out more easily along the battlefield. Of course, it's not going to be as much power concentrated per area, but still pretty decent. You get a lot of them per card, usually 6 in A phase, 12 in B phase. It's a good amount of anti-air. In team games, I don't find them to be all that effective, as team games usually just comes down to spam in every single aspect, where you're just going to be spammed by, you know, half a dozen IL-2s coming your way. You definitely want more heavier anti-aircraft pieces to deal with that. But in 1v1s, Flak 38s are extremely useful because you don't want to be spending a lot of points in anti-air because you want to cover your rather long and thin front line with frontline fighting units such as anti-tank guns and tanks and infantry. So just having 1 or 2 flak guns and maybe a fighter plane is usually like a pretty decent early like A phase, B phase anti-aircraft net to keep most planes array. You have the flak guns to help you in your dogfights, and your fighters do most of the actual damage. But yeah, it's a Flak 38. It's definitely underrated. It's definitely something you should try putting in your decks, more or less, just to give them a shot, as I do think they do have a pretty decent purpose. Also, you can use them against ground targets, but, you know, they take extra damage versus ground units, so it's not the best idea. Anyway, that's enough rambling from me today, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as usual, please just take it easy.